For all the people who were saying that no matter how much we begged, developers aren't going to listen to a community for major changes.
You serious?
Helldivers 2 is coming to Xbox. That's a sentence I thought I'd never get to say. Thanks to the community. Very calmly asking for the game to become cross-gen, we now can enjoy Helldivers with our fellow Spartans in arms. The game that is all about freedom has finally put its money where its mouth is. How did this happen, though?
How? How? How?
I don't know.
How did a community fight for the ability for Xbox players to enjoy the game? How do we convince Arrowhead Studios to listen to the fans? And what does this mean for the future of gaming? I don't know, but I'm bored, so let me just spitball some reasons here. When Helldivers 2 first released over a year ago in 2024, it was exclusive to PS5 and PC, which for exclusive games, that's not very uncommon. It's what separates all consoles from each other. As Uncle Iroh once said, PC is an element of freedom and customization. Xbox is the element of friendship and strong bonds. PlayStation is the element of great story and writing. And Nintendo is the element of variety. However, there was something unique about Helldivers. It was extremely reminiscent of the fan favorite title of Halo. Helldivers were very similar to design in Spartans, and thus it made the Xbox players who had not received a good Halo game in 7 years very jealous. And us Helldivers looked upon them and just said amongst ourselves, yeah, we should probably help them out. Then, something amazing happened. Gaming communities actually stopped arguing about who had the better console or hating on PC players and decided to work together. After decades of war, a treaty was assigned for all gamers. The Port Helldivers 2 to All Consoles and Systems Treaty, or better known as Test. With this treaty in place, all divers and Spartans alike united against an enemy no person dared to combat: the developers of the game. With this, there was pushback. Silence on the developers' part led to people believing their efforts were falling on deaf ears. But fortune favors hopeless romantics, and with every effort of the brave divers and behind every cry after an update, finally, on June 3rd of 2025, our victory was revealed from behind the curtain. At long last, we won. The developers of a game listened to the community. You may be asking, why is this so significant? But the answer is simple. A community made a business decision because of the influence they had gained with the developers. Let's back up a bit for a bit more context. The community is very wholesome, unless you keep getting blown up by your friend because he's incapable of aiming at anything but you, and has in a way created the lore for the game themselves. For those who don't know, every single mission you perform in the game is canon. Every turn and shot you fire is part of the lore officially. So that means every animation, fan-made poster, close call, and missile you fire has a part to play in the grand scheme of things with the game. This has led to a community that has made this game into one of the most memorable, lore-driven games ever, because the player is making the lore as they play. Who needs dad lore when you have diver lore? Am I right? I'm here all night. But not only is this just a fun fact, it makes everything you do in the game feel meaningful. It puts purpose into your mission, and after all is said and done, you think to yourself, damn, that's canon. And this caused the developers to notice how much the community loved the game and was involved with it emotionally. This made developers listen to the community when we asked for the cross-platform update. The reason we could have influence is because of how involved we were with the game, and the developers knew the community was loyal enough at this point that even if it wasn't super popular on Xbox, the PlayStation players would keep going for years to come. They then hit up Master Master Chief and said, "Ayo, Halo players, we know you guys don't have the most popular series anymore, but you want a chance to relive your childhood." And in unison, every thinking person who loved Halo as a kid said, "Hell yeah!" And here we are now. But why does this change gaming forever? Why does a fan base convincing the lead team of a game series to make a business decision have to do with changing gaming? The answer to that is, if the developers of Helldivers listen to us, we can continue to feed our delusions that we have a chance of getting Battlefront 3. GTA 6 can finally be released on schedule without more delays. Goat Simulator can get a remake. For what felt like the first time in ages, developers listened to a community and showed that the buyer has power over the distributor and actually has a say in how the product looks in the end. We bought it, you work for us, and we have a say in how we want the game to look. That doesn't mean that Helldivers is going to be a Battle Royale Fortnite remake just because the community says so, but we as the players should have a say in what we want to see from the game we love. And if we say that Xbox players shouldn't have to be limited to a system they have and should be able to participate in the fun we're having too, then they should be able to hear us and listen. This should be obvious because we shouldn't have discrimination of console players anymore. If you are still judging people based on what console they have, you need to get with the times, dude. It's 2025. We can't keep calling PlayStation players filthy flat buttoners and Xbox players disgusting D-pad users. Come on, guys. You shouldn't be saying slurs like that anymore. The only discrimination we tolerate around here is for screw and bolt having But seriously, no one should have to feel as limited as we have been in the past. If a massive game such as Helldivers can be experienced by people around the world, consoles shouldn't be a wall they have to face. The future of gaming has completely changed because of the change that has come to Helldivers. What I mean by that is that now this era of players sees the influence they have over the buyers. We don't have to accept the garbage that is put out with a yearly Call of Duty and can say, "This is lazy and we don't want AI generated trash that's in this game. Fix it please, and don't release another COD until you make serious upgrades and changes besides a mild graphics upscale." We have the ability to say, "We don't want to put up with more Madden games. We want changes made with the sports genre. Please do it." We, as in you and me, now have the ability to tell Sony that we want to have our dream game produced of all the regular human missions from the Spider-Man games being a full game. Seriously though, to put this in a nutshell, the gaming industry is changing, and with live service updates being the main trend nowadays, developers are learning to listen to fans and take constructive criticism properly and apply it to their game in ways that is beneficial for all fans of this series in question. We have a say in what games are produced and how they look, and as long as it benefits both parties, changes can be made to better game for people. Speak up and voice your own opinion unless it's different than mine, and don't be afraid to let game developers know what you want to see, as long as I want to see it too.